And we are back with Marketing Teardown. We're taking a look at the growth strategy for Nuggs. Basically, how can we 10x this company? How can we take them and everything that we've looked at so far with where they're at and what they're doing with their marketing, and how can we take that and 10x it from where they're at right now? And let's break into it. So what's next, man? What do we recommend?
So I think they have tons of like opportunities. They could pretty much take a page out of Soylent's playbook. One thing that Soylent did really, really well is they had an excellent referral program. One thing they could do, and one thing that we touched on earlier was the hack school partnerships. As you tap into those networks, anything that you do with a referral program will increase its effectiveness exponentially. Also, they have tons of available SKU expansion since they have a parent company that's using Nuggs essentially as a test market, learn and expand from there. They're really, really like growth hacky, and they're willing to try a bunch of new stuff. So you could do that with those D2C direct ads with those new SKUs, geo-targeting, as well as like their retail expansion with Acosta and Green Spoon, trying to get into those stores. Those cooking influencers, excellent idea from our previous episode where they do a cooking show with a couple of not washed up, but sort of B-list YouTube celebrities, and then taking those video ads and trying to hit the upper limit of those referral campaigns, just pushing those to the absolute limit, and then just doing that kind of hand over fist, cash flush out to the retail market, kind of shaking hands in the right places in order to get Nuggs into retail locations. So there's a lot of different things they can do here. And the important thing is to go and tap into those audiences first, for example, the hack schools, and then leverage those audiences with a referral program, and then use the video to kind of funnel all of those together. Because if you do it in that order, you'll work on your ability to scale a lot quicker than if you were to do it opposite.
Yeah. And I think the main thing they're doing right now that I really like is that they've just rebranded into Simulate. From Nuggs was the main company, and they just rebranded into a Simulate company that's presumably launching other meat alternative products very soon, hot dogs, things of that nature. And I really like that they're doing that because that's going to allow them to expand beyond just these chicken nuggets and go into some other food categories, while staying within, that meat alternative, meat replacement zone. And I think the interesting thing with where they're at in the food market and just food in general is, I mean, you're taking market share from somebody else always, right? Like, especially for something that's an expensive product. Like you don't buy Nuggs if, you're making absolute minimum wage and you have a ton of debt and you're just buying the minimum amount of food that you possibly can in order to survive. Like, you are not going to buy Nuggs. So Nuggs is a choice that people will make in their shopping habits, and they're going to buy something else or they're going to buy you. And so it's a bet on replacing somebody else in the market. And that's true for pretty much all food products out there. And so for what they're doing, adding more SKUs, getting retail distribution, and then just starting to get into the zeitgeist more is huge, because that's how they're going to grow. That's how they're going to 10x from what they're currently at right now. Cool. So playbook reference, we mentioned this a second ago, but Soylent is the reference. Soylent played the game. Soylent did this first, and this is potentially something that they could replicate.
I think an important thing to point out is what Soylent did is they had these versions, right? So they had Soylent 1.0, which was just powder. It's pretty much like a protein shake, so not enough differentiation there. Then Soylent 2.0, a little bit tastier, and then they also bottled it with a distribution method where they sent it directly to people, and then they expanded
direct
from there.
Consumer.
So they did all their learning in 2.0, which is really smart, and they added as much awareness and as much referral program gamification in there as possible. So before Soylent even hit stores, people knew about Soylent, and the exact market that they're looking for, they knew about it. Because I think a quick way to make a brand like this die is put it in stores too early, because it just gets buried. There's no awareness. They don't even know what it is. They're going to see Soylent and be like, oh, okay, cool. This is just another protein shake. They're going to taste it. It obviously doesn't taste very good, but that's not the appeal of this product. Nuggs might be a little bit tastier, but still that same playbook should go in tandem with the way that Nuggs is going to do a distribution plan.
Yeah. It's almost like culture hopping. Once you get big in a certain subculture, and then sort of culture hopping your way adjacently into other areas, which is really interesting when you see the Soylent of today compared to the Soylent of back when they were just breaking onto the scene. Very different Soylent. But that's the thing.
The vintage
you can completely
Soylent,
rebrand it. Yeah, vintage Soylent. Oh God, aged Soylent.
Yeah.
I don't know if that holds up over time.
It's a delicious 2015 cacao Soylent, very, very sharp on the nose, if you will.
Yeah, classic vintage. The Nuggs will definitely not hold up over the years. Those definitely need to be consumed. They have a shelf life, that is for sure. But yeah, I think overall, I mean, yeah, you can rebrand, you can change, you can take the brand, you can take the same products and you can have two different brands of the same thing. Like that's the move. This is how they become big. All of that leading up to our final Hopkins score of about an 8.7. Again, this is subject to change, but we do think this is probably a pretty fair representation of where they're at right now. I mean, it's a solid score. They've got a lot going for them. They're clearly going places, and they have the money to back it up to spend from all the capital they've raised too. So that combined with the movement in the market for the alternative meat industry at the moment, I mean, that's huge. That's an 8.7 to me. I think they're going places.
Yep, totally agree. You do things in the right order, Nuggs, you're going to be somebody.
Oh, on that note, that is a teardown. Couple pluggables real quick. I run a company called Optomotive, where we help other companies launch and scale new brands, new products, and enter into new markets. So if those are things that are initiatives at your company right now, hit me up, shoot me an email, and we should talk. Travis, you got some pluggables?
Yeah, I'm Travis. I run head of product over at Cinebody.com. It's a video production software solution. Anybody who uses video in any of their advertising, creating video, ad agencies, anything like that, it's an easy way to do lean video production with iPhones through the cloud.
All right, bow. That's a teardown. Catch you guys next time.